Welcome to Binge Diaries. I have thoughts, so let's unpack. Hello, this is Runaways Season 2, Episode 4, and I'm not gonna lie, I am still very much hurt. I am butt hurt over Episode 3. But the show must go on. I did need to watch this like a few times, just because every time I watched it, I saw something else that I didn't see before, so I think I was just too distracted, and I knew that. That's why I kept watching it over. I was just thinking about Livy and what happened, what's going to happen with her and Alex's storyline. Like, I really had to not only mourn the loss of Darius, but I also had to mourn like all my stories that I was coming up and this spinoff that I was really like set on in a way. Like I don't know why I do that, but I was like already preparing for it to come at some point. Like I still have questions. I still have hopes for it. Like, will that like automatically end, or is Alex going to reach out for her when he needs help and she actually helps him, or is she gonna be upset and not help him? Like, just what I'm just crushed by the whole thing. And if you read the comics or you watched the animation, then this probably is not a surprise to you at all, especially if it's closely modeled by that. But for me, fresh eyes, I am hurt, shocked, and curious to see what else is gonna go wrong. Like, what else am I wrong about? Let's go ahead and officially get into this episode. So we were introduced to Topher. He is like Molly. They both speak Spanish. They both have the same eye color and powers, and they both are currently street kids. Now, my first impressions of Topher is I don't necessarily like him. Honestly, I do know he is a sweet talker. He is for sure trying to finesse them somehow. He is definitely hiding something. Maybe he was planted there by their parents. They knew just what to give him. I don't think so, because if they had somebody on the inside, then they wouldn't be doing all of this to look and find the kids. But maybe he was there that night of the fire and he saw Leslie leave or something, or maybe he was infected by inhaling the smoke or something. That could be how Molly got her powers too. But there has to be some type of common denominator between the two. There's no way that he and Molly are, their situations are not related somehow. Like, I don't know if she inherited these powers and he did too. Maybe he's one of their like younger brothers, so he's Molly's uncle. I don't know. Or, somehow he was affected by something that happened that night, maybe. Carolina is still lying and being sneaky with Jonah, and I really can't wait for it to come out. I am a little disgusted. I never actually mentioned this, but Leslie and Jonah's relationship is disgusting to me. Not only because he is an alien, but the fact that he was around her when she was a little girl, and he watched her grow up, or like, she's always kind of been there, is really disgusting. And I can't help but relate that back to Carolina. Like, why is he now calling her, seeing her? Like, did he not know that was his daughter until she glowed, or did he always know that? Or like, what's so different now? So yeah, I mean, I think he still is using her for something. And I had got the feeling that where Carolina and Jonah were headed is the exact dig site that Dale and Stacy were biopsying, trying to see if they have the perfect serum that could kill Jonah. And boy, was I right. I was right. Yep, they saw each other, including Carolina, and I don't think Dale and Stacey will tell the others, because they may think Leslie is in on it and she knows, and Carolina is with Jonah and not their kids. And I felt no kind of way about Carolina going down into the dig site with Jonah. I was hoping that she got caught up by her friends somehow, and it like all just comes together. I really want that to happen, because that is a huge deal. That is the enemy. It's not just their parents, it's him too. So it's like, I really want her to get caught and for that to play out. And lastly, speaking of the kids, I was really wanting them to like overhear something between the parents when they were hiding out in the school. I really wanted them to get some type of information that would give them like a leg up on things, but they would have actually ended up with nothing. It would have been a blank trip if it wasn't for Topher. So I mean, I still don't trust him, but let's move on to episode 5. It is getting real, y'all. So this is Runaways Season 2, Episode 5. So in the beginning of this, I don't really care for Topher's story. I feel like he was leaving out a lot of important stuff, like why did his parents feel like that about him? And honestly, I was disappointed his story was that he's a junkie. But I was happy to know that, or maybe a little bit too happy, honestly, that story was a lie. And I was kind of right. He was indeed there that night of the fire or the explosion at the lab. And that explosion changed him. So I'm pretty happy about that, even though I still believe that they shared way too much in front of him without even realizing it. And then Molly got to go way overboard with showing him the board and answering his questions all night long and all that other stuff. Like, girl, even though I still don't like him, I really do like that whole scene with Gert. Not that one when they're talking about the medication, the one where he saved her. That really kind of had me thinking, like, maybe Molly is right. Maybe it's not him that's evil, but that's what the rocks do to him in a way. Kind of like Nico and her mom's staff. Like, they might not actually be evil, but that's just the way that, like, it comes off, or that's what it does to them the more they use it. I don't really know. But anywho, Jonah finally admitted to being an alien, and what's really down there in that dig site is no shock to me. But what did shock me was Carolina. Like, was she really trying to fry the computer that Alex just got Like, come on now, you're trying to say you was helping him, but really, I don't know. It's given Jonah is in her head, her thinking about like family and his other children that is so quote unquote trapped inside that ship. Yeah, it's getting to her, and she's probably trying to help him out the best way she can. Now, Robert really got me close to the edge of my seat because he volunteered to handle Jonah. Like, come on now, I was with the others. Yeah, like A for effort, but no. And he was so serious though, and I loved it. He almost succeeded too, if it wasn't for those nosy churchgoers. But the end is near. Let's go ahead and move on to episode 6 to see how all of this plays out. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you have any show recommendations, drop them down below. Just keep them bingeable and spoiler free. Subscribe for more.